right, we're going live. Stop clicking your mouth. All right. It looks like we are live. It is week 13 of the Cleveland Browns' new interesting season. And we are in Pittsburgh this week. We have a new hype video for anybody who has not yet seen that. You can see it on my Twitter, which is right above my head, or you can view it on the Brownie Postgame YouTube channel, which is where you're at right now. And we are live. Dad, what are your thoughts on today's game, and what are you excited about?
Today's game, obviously, a must-win. Every game is a must-win from now on. I think we're healthy. We have lost two players, Robinson and Randall. Mm-hmm. We don't know why Randall's out yet, but obviously he did something wrong that he got put off the bus. But it's going to be a good game. I mean, obviously the defense, I think, will play strong against their offense because they're starting their rookie quarterback. They're missing their key players and Juice and Connor and some other guys. So that should be a good matchup for us. Our offense should match up against their defense, I guess. And the guys got to come through. Baker's got to play well. Odell's got to play well. Landry's got to play well. Hopefully Higgins becomes a part of the offense and he's there. Chubb, Hunt, you can always count on those two guys are playing well. Offensive line, hopefully McCray fills in for Robinson, halfway decent on the line, and we're off and going. I think the only thing Pittsburgh's got going for them is home field advantage. The weather is, I think the rain is going to clear out by about game time. Haven't checked on it lately. And it's going to be mild, about 50 degrees, and not very windy. So conditions are good for us. So I'm looking at this being a very positive game for us. Just don't shoot ourselves in the foot. Freddie called a good game. Guys, stay on side. No stupid penalties. And hopefully then we move on to the next one if we beat these guys. And it'd be great to beat them twice in the season.
It would absolutely be great to beat them twice. I think they said it was like 1988 was the last time we did it.
Right.
Which is just insane to think about that. But, man, I mean, can you imagine beating – and then also we'd have an opportunity to sweep the Ravens come, December 22nd, which is I continuously bring this up because I'm very proud of this prediction that we're going to go 6-0 in division. And in order to make the playoffs, we're really going to need to do that.
Oh, yeah. This is and there's no let up in the Ravens. There's no let up in the Buffalo Bills.
Yep.
We're going to have to knock the Steelers out. And then we're going to have to do better than the Titans and Colts and anyone else who's going to fight for that second wild card spot. Mm-hmm. And if we get in there, do you recall, Mike, what the playoff picture is in terms of who plays who? Do the wild cards play each other first, or do they play the lower end of the division winners first? Because then if that would be the case, then we would avoid Buffalo. But if the two wild cards play together the first week, which I think it used to be that way, but I don't know if it's that way anymore. Then we would have to play the Buffalo Bills again, and they're not too shabby. I think they'd be a different team the second time we played them.
I'm trying to look at the standings right now for the playoffs. It is the wild card round. So the wild card round is first, and it's not giving me the standings on who is who. I know that the two teams like right now that are looking at buys are the Ravens and the Patriots in the AFC. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to go to the actual standings right now, but and then we also we're playing against Devlin Hodges from Samford, which is, we were saying last week from Stanford, but he's from Sanford, which is actually Samford is a college in Alabama down here in the South. Every once in a while, they'll have a sneaky team that's good at something, like they'll make the NCAA tournament in basketball or something, just randomly. But he's played so far. He played in week 12, so last week against the Bengals, got the win. 5 completions, 11 attempts, 118 yards, 1 touchdown, took 2 sacks. I mean nothing crazy, but we do have a history.
I wonder how mobile he is. You know, the mobile quarterbacks tend to hurt us sometimes. We over rush, we leave the middle open, and but if he's not a very mobile type of guy, then hopefully he'll stay put, and we'll zero in on him.
Yeah.
And hopefully the guy filling in for Miles will have a decent game. A Smith, I guess, is going to be starting, and let's hope he has a good game. And the guys do their job, as Freddie says, do your job, and we should win. That's the way I'm looking at it.
So I was able to pull up the playoff picture right as it stands right now. I think we're currently in 10th place, so we're still alive in the playoff hunt. We've got Tennessee, Indianapolis, and Oakland ahead of us. Pittsburgh is currently in the 6th seed. So
we knocked them off, and we're 2-0 against them, and we knocked them down a peg. So this is a huge game from that perspective for us.
Tennessee is also 6-5.
Right, I know.
And they have that win against us. So Tennessee right now, we have to hope that they lose. Right. But I don't think Tennessee is going to go 11-5. 10-6 possibility, but I have to look at their schedule. I think they're probably the one that could possibly be a challenge for us. Buffalo at 9-3 is looking real good at this point, unless they fall apart. Baltimore, they're getting pretty close to clinching the division. You've got the Steelers could fall off here. I mean, it's really the 6th seed is up for grabs in the AFC. That's it.
And Tennessee plays Indianapolis today, so one of those two is going to lose. That's going to help us. I don't know who we should be rooting for. Probably Indianapolis.
It's got to be Indianapolis since they beat since we lost to Tennessee.
Right. So, and it's a home game for Indianapolis. So, I hope they win.
So Indianapolis is an interesting one because they could still win their division. They're the South Division over Houston because Houston's 7-4.
Right.
Indianapolis is 6-5, and Tennessee is 6-5. So, I mean, here's the deal. At 6-5, I'd be feeling a lot more comfortable right now than at 5-6. But at the end of the day, we have to win. We have to win 5 games, and 2 of those games should be guaranteed wins against the Bengals. We should not lose against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, if we're still in it and we have purpose, we have motivation, we certainly shouldn't lose, regardless of whether Dalton comes back and plays well or not.
Right. So. I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat: X-Men Avenger, Mario G, Kyle Liu, Cliff Brown, Lathanos 23, Cleveland CBI, Mr. Dark CR. Guys, thanks for being back as always. Yep. So I appreciate you. We have a new giveaway today for whoever picks the winner of the match. We've got a set of Browns pens, and I still haven't shipped. I ran into some issues with the holiday this week, so I didn't get a chance to ship anything, but they will be shipped out, and I have your emails. We're all good on that. So we're going to be doing that here in a second, so everybody hang tight. But in terms of going back, I think what this game comes down to, because we've had a banged-up defense, Olivier Vernon is scheduled as he's active today. So Olivier Vernon might be back. And I mean, it might be it might even be a game time decision, but I think he wouldn't be active at this point if he wasn't, since he's been out so long. Why would you activate him to not play?
Right.
It's a knee injury, so it's one of those things that you got to be really careful about. But I think Olivier Vernon is going to be back, so that helps us a ton with Miles being gone. Okay, so that almost nullifies some of the loss that we have there. But the big thing is going to be Devlin Hodges. If he does what the Broncos did, then we're in rough shape. And being at Pittsburgh, we have won at Pittsburgh before. Brady Quinn won at Pittsburgh. I believe Colt McCoy won at Pittsburgh. We can win in Heinz Field. Right. And with this particular, let me look at the injury report for the Steelers, because Connor did not practice. He's looking to be out. Juju,
I think a lot of their key players is going to be out.
Connor's doubtful. He's not out. Juju is out.
Right.
Juju's listed as out. One of their cornerbacks is questionable, Artie Burns, and then their offensive tackle Villanueva he's just has nothing for game status, so I'm assuming he's in.
Right.
For us, we've got Olivier Vernon is questionable. Cardero Hodge is the wide receiver. Is questionable.
Ton Sports says Connor and Burns are ruled out. So
okay, so Burns and Connor is out. Good. So, well, we also have Greg Robinson out too. So that's our one offensive. So I don't know who's starting at left tackle. Does anybody know in chat who's starting at left tackle? Just type that in if you happen to have it. Yeah. So from an injury standpoint, I still think that we match up. We match up very well against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think McCray is starting, and one of the guys said Kyle said it's McCray, and I think he's a decent fill-in. I mean, Robinson is not great, so downgrading to McCray, if that's a downgrade, is not bad. I think he played a lot last week and did pretty good. So I'm hoping he fills in and does well.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, guys, I'm just going on this 3-game winning streak has been a lot of fun, and it's added a little bit of life back into the season. I mean, obviously we're going to watch the Browns games no matter what, but the fact that we're still in it, the fact that these games actually matter, and as Baker was saying, every game's a playoff. Every game's a playoff potential game. We have to treat them like you lose, you're out, because looking at these teams that are still in it, I think out of all of these teams that are left, somebody might go 10-6. We just happen to be getting boned this year because the NFC is so weak with Dallas in first place in the East with a 6-6 record.
Yeah, I'd hate to be a Dallas fan and watch them go over their last couple of games, and between the owner and the coach and the players, they come out, they have a winning drive. Right at the beginning, and then they go to sleep and they just fall apart. It's just like they're non-existent. So at least the Browns, there hasn't been a game where they've laid down yet and really been beaten from start to finish. They've had their
San Francisco.
Yeah, but we came back. I mean, obviously you look at all the plays that San Francisco made on us when they had to, and all the bad plays that we made and the turnovers that Baker. I think Baker had 3 turnovers in that game. I mean, it was not a stellar performance by any means. So, not that San Francisco's taking it to everybody. I mean, it's going to be a good game to watch them play today to see if they can.
Who do they play against today?
They're playing. Are they playing the Ravens?
Yeah, they're playing the Ravens at Baltimore.
Yeah,
it's a 1:00 game too, so we won't be able to watch that.
No, but we'll watch the screen and stuff and see how they're doing. I mean,
that would be honestly great for them. It doesn't look like Baltimore's probably going to win home field advantage, but if San Francisco beats them, that helps us from a strength of schedule standpoint. But I'm glad we're in the AFC, because if you look at the playoff picture from the NFC, and let me go ahead and put this on. Let me see if I can get a window capture here, and so I can show people what we're talking about.
X-Men Avenger says it's a disciplinary action against Randall for not doing something in practice, I guess, or whatever, missing a workout. So,
oh, really?
That's what they're saying on the chat there.
All right, so I'm looking at
that's stupid. That's a head case type of thing. How do you not? When you're in the hunt the way we are, and we have a huge game coming up.
Yeah.
How do you miss a workout? How do you not show up? How do you not be there ahead of time? With raring to go for a practice. This is one of these games where, it could go nice for us. It could get ugly. I mean, if somebody makes a bad hit on somebody and takes somebody out, it's one of those games where anything can happen,
right?
And it's usually not going to be, touch football. These guys are going to come out banging, and it'll be interesting to see who gets the first shot and who takes advantage of it and who holds the momentum.
Well, I think that the big advantage that we have going on is Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt.
Right.
As we said, for the last 3 games, there's not another a backfield in the NFL that comes close to what we have currently talent-wise in our backfield.
Absolutely.
So we have a giant advantage there. And if we can establish the run and then suck them in and make them play 8, 9 in the box, and then do play action, and then throw the ball to Odell and Jarvis and whomever else is out there to catch the ball, we have a big advantage there. And we can keep pounding it because we can swap in and out Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb and then dump off little screen passes, opens up those bigger seams for our big receivers. But going back to looking at the playoff picture here, we've got the AFC is actually the only one that's open right now. The 6th seed in the AFC is really the only one because the 5th and 6th seed in the NFC are 9-2 and 8-3. So, I mean, unless there's some epic collapse from Seattle or Minnesota, which could happen, but unlikely at 8-3, you're going to completely collapse and not at least get to 10 wins, right? And Seattle's all but locked it up with the wild card there. Now, in the AFC, Buffalo's looking good, but Buffalo could collapse. They absolutely could. I think they're a bad 9-3. They're probably the worst 9-3 team I've seen in a long time. And then Pittsburgh's not a playoff team, so they're just happen to be occupying the 6th seed right now. But that's the one that's up for grabs. And unfortunately, we're on the outside looking in because we're 5-6 against everybody else who's 6-5.
Yeah. And the Bills got their win already this week. They beat the Cowboys, which they shouldn't have, and at Dallas too. I mean, they
was bad
after that first drive by Dallas. Buffalo made it look easy. I mean, they were struggling to get back in the game. And they self-destructed. That was an easy win for the Bills. I don't know who they play next week. Hopefully they have a tough game and they come back to us a little bit so that we make it at least competitive for the 2 wild card spots. But it's in our hands. We control our own destiny, I think, and that's good. But we don't have an overwhelming schedule, so that's good.
The playoff picture is going to be a lot different after this game because we'll know if Pittsburgh is 6-6, then we'll jump ahead of them because we beat them twice. Right. So we will jump up to at minimum the 9th seed, and it'll minimum be the 9th because Tennessee will still be ahead of us if they lose and they're 6-6, Tennessee will stay ahead of us. So Indianapolis will go to 7-5. We'll be 6-6, and then I don't know who does Oakland play today? Do we know?
Yeah, hold on a second.
They play the Chiefs at the Chiefs.
Yeah, tough game.
Tough game for them. So they could be 6-6 as well. Right. So we would then, and I don't know who who would be above who. At 6-6.
Yeah. Now we got to
we're either going to be in the
game. Yeah, we got to get by this game. We have to win this game and then put it on everybody else. Continue to focus, like the guys say, one game at a time. Every game from now on is a playoff game.
Yeah.
And there's nothing except Baltimore really in our way, and we get Baltimore at home, and we've already beat them
badly.
And we have the momentum.
You were there.
I was there. It was a good game. And and Baltimore, I don't think has been tested since then. I mean, they've just rolled over everybody by 20 points. I mean, they've had a pretty easy run. This will be a tough game for them, 49ers coming in there. So I'll be interested to see how they hold up. They are sort of one-dimensional, as Lamar Jackson goes. So go. If he has a bad game or if he gets hurt, look out. Things will change in a heartbeat for Baltimore.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the thing. I talked about this on the podcast with Mike Restano earlier this week. And the reality is, and if I'm Baltimore, and I tell all Baltimore fans, enjoy it while you have it. There was a great article about RG3 that was written and how he's the backup quarterback now for Baltimore and how he's doing a great job as a backup quarterback and yada yada. And if you look at what happens to running quarterbacks, they get hurt. That's the bottom line. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. It's just like riding a motorcycle. At some point you're going to crash. Just
Right.
depends on when.
Yeah, if you take too many chances, you never know when you're going to get blindsided. I was
It's not. It
watching.
doesn't even have to be blindsided though. It could be just like RG3, who just pulls up limp and wrecks his
Sure.
knee, and
I
then
watched.
they rushed him back into the game and wrecked his knee even further, and that just basically destroyed him in Washington.
I watched the Ohio State Michigan game yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and they're winning 35-17 or something. And is it Hurts? It goes back to pass, and
Fields,
own tackle rolls up on his knee on his
yeah,
leg,
Justin
and he
Fields.
goes down, and he's got to go into the tent. He's got to be taken out of the game. What a huge loss for them when they're up by 17 points. Luckily, he came right back in, but that shows you how much a game can change, a season can change in a heartbeat. And the Saints got lucky with Bridgewater coming in behind Breeze. Pittsburgh has not been that fortunate because they haven't done well with either one of their backups at this point. We'll see how well Hodges does today.
Yeah.
But I like our chances.
I mean, I'm glad the Bengals are this bad this year because there's a really good chance that they'll take a quarterback. And if not, maybe they take Chase Young. I don't know. Depends on the measurables and some of the things that come out with that. But I don't want any part of the quarterbacks coming out next year with Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence. Thompson Robinson coming out of UCLA next year as well. All those guys are going to be really scary. I think Justin Fields is he's the second coming of Cam Newton with a better, more accurate arm. And Trevor Lawrence is the best thing I have seen in college football since Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
I think Trevor Lawrence will come out of the only knock on Trevor is his size. Like, he's not as thick as Peyton is. Peyton was a thick guy coming out. John Elway was a thick guy. I think Trevor's just a little skinnier, but I mean, those are blue chip guys. Those are playoff NFL caliber quarterbacks that are going to come out next year. Luckily, we don't have to worry about that because we happen to have our guy in Baker Mayfield, and he's going to be our guy for a very long time. Right. So, yeah, but I mean, this is going to be a really interesting game. I think let's go ahead and do the predictions. Score predictions.
I think if our defense plays well, I'm predicting something like 27 to 14, something like that. We give them a couple of touchdowns, maybe 27-10.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to a comfortable second half where we run the ball and we dominate, and we don't keep them in the game by turnovers, and we don't keep them in the game by giving up big plays. And we're going to miss Miles, obviously. That's a big loss for us, but I think we can get by this offense of Pittsburgh with our defense, no problem.
Yeah.
So that's
there's no major weapons on offense anymore. You don't have you don't have Connor, you don't have Juju, and then you have a rookie quarterback. I mean, this is not the same Pittsburgh Steelers that we have seen in the past. And luckily, they're actually an average team, so they're not going to have one of those really high draft picks either. So right. I'm hoping that Pittsburgh goes through the quarterback hell that we've gone through for 20 years after them getting lucky with Roethlisberger. Right. What they'll get coming out of that. So let's go scores. Everybody's got their scores coming in, I see.
We got 44 people in there watching us now, so we should get a few more scores.
Week 13 scores. Got my spreadsheet ready. Let everybody trickle them in. Yeah, I think it's going to be, I think I'm going to call it, I think we score 3 touchdowns, 24-13 Browns, I'm going to say.
Yeah, let's I don't want to have to sweat it out in the fourth quarter. Let's get a comfortable win. Even let maybe some of the backups play at the end, and
just tear them apart. I mean, I think that would be great. Knowing the Steelers how they want to. I mean, they're gonna be up for it. They're gonna want to win. They're gonna want to put it to the Browns. They don't want the Browns to take
rub it in. They're gonna rub it in if we get behind, and they the fans are gonna be on their side, and so it could be a long afternoon if we get behind early. But the good thing that we have that we hadn't had in the past is even if we get behind early, we have the weapons that we can come back with, whether it's on the ground or in the air. And just a question of, when we've gotten behind, like against the 49ers, we just weren't able, or the Titans, we weren't able to pull it off to come back. But I think we're a different team than the team that lost to those two teams. And I hope we don't have to come back to win. I hope we just stay ahead, get that touchdown, they can get that turnover and get up 14, maybe give them a field goal, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm hoping for. Hopefully the kicking game will go our way. The weather's not going to be a factor. Things are looking good for us. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, we're going to be giving away the pens. So we have Cleveland Browns pens that we're going to be giving away for whoever predicts the end of this, and we've got the homage T-shirt giveaway. So that's going to be coming in the post-game show as well. So everybody, thank you very much for watching. I've got all the scores in the spreadsheet, so we'll be doing the giveaway the first thing on the post-game show. And we will be back live at probably about 4:20, because that seemed last game I thought it was going to be 4 o'clock. It's going to be 4:20. Whenever the Browns game is over, directly after the game, we will be live. So join us back here. Oh, Nate came in. Nate's got his score there too. I'm going to add you into the spreadsheet.
Come on, Brownies. Go Brownies. We need a big win today.
Yeah, this is it. This is, season's on the line. So here we go. Go Browns.
Go Brownies.